half an hour every single day. They're not going to look at you and go, no, you didn't. That's a very compelling thing. Anybody with little ones at home that can find an extra half hour in their day where they're not sleeping, props to you. And I think that that's a really compelling thing to share with people.
And you're also muted.
I said I'm back. I think the internet should be better now. Does it seem like it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like you guys covered that one. Thank you for staying on, and not just thank you so much for staying on. Did you guys cover that one good? I just had basically that, one thing I like to say is no one is more busy than anyone else. We all have the exact same amount of hours and minutes and seconds in the day. We just choose to fill them with our priorities. Even if someone's priority is taking a nap and watching TV all day, they are prioritizing that above other things. We all have the same amount of time. We just have different priorities and way of managing it. So, yeah. And I like what I overheard about, using people as an example, like Sherry, for example. Okay. Can we move on? I'm going to come back to that one. Lacking the know-how. So people just not knowing how to do what we do, not feeling like they're good at social media or whatever, or their perception of what we do. Does anyone have any thoughts about how to combat someone whose objection is, I just don't know how. I don't know how to do. I'm not good at any of that kind of thing.
I generally think it's beneficial to let them know our team culture, which is to get you going with the training. We have one-on-one options with your coach if need be. There's the group training, obviously, and just let them know that a lot of us started from ground zero, not knowing what the heck. I just saw a Facebook memory the other day of one of my first Beachbody posts, you guys. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, so bad. So anyways, just sharing those things. We all started at ground zero, and there's training and support the whole way.
Yeah, those Facebook look backs are like the biggest. So if those of you guys that have been around for a long time, they are so affirming that we slowly grow this thing and we grow so much. And Jake, doesn't it make you think what are we going to think when we look back on how we are today? I remember and I don't have I don't think by any stretch that my Instagram account is awesome or that I have a huge following or anything like that. But I remember when I got 40 likes on a picture, thinking that was unbelievable. Oh my gosh, 40 people liked this picture. Yeah. And today I get usually over 100. And I mean, again, it's totally relative, and that's really not a lot. So a lot of people's minds, to me, it's a lot. But if I were to get 40 now, I'd be like, oh, nobody liked that post. So it's cool. Yeah, what Jake said, basically, I would tell him about the resources, and for the purposes of this replay and any new coaches that might watch this replay, we have the FAQ, we have our own team training, we have obviously the team page, and we are incredible. You guys are incredible about if anyone asks a question. I know Dana's on. I love how Dana is a champ at our business. I feel like she's really, really an awesome coach on our team, and I love that she still continues to ask questions. Regularly, she'll pop a question in there and we hop on and answer. We have that TPH resources group that I do think we're underutilizing. So sometime check that out. It's called TPH resources. I have loaded it with content. I think it's a great place to go find information in addition to Google the FAQ and all that stuff. Okay. And then what about cost? We have about 15 minutes left on this call and about 6 other topics to cover. So let's take just a couple minutes on best ways to object someone, to combat or respond to someone with a cost objection.
That's my toughest thing. I would really like to hear what others do, because I have a real hard time with that one, getting people to overcome that.
So I actually have like one of my very few coaches that's in Team Play Hard. She had that objection, and I talked to her about it, and I said, you're budgeting in a new meal. So your Shakeology is a meal. And so you need to look at your grocery budget and think about replacing an entire meal for you for the entire month. And then that's going to be housed with those dollars. And then look and see where you have excess. You know, if you typically go out for breakfast, I have another friend I'm talking to right now who buys a grande chai latte and a pumpkin bread for breakfast every morning from Starbucks, 7 days a week. And I was like, you're spending more with that than you would with Shakeology. Even with all the extras, like if you added in almond milk and all that kind of stuff, it still comes out cheaper than your Starbucks run.
Not to mention those empty calories.
Exactly. So that's what I typically go the budget route with people, because most of the people I talk to are moms, and we work on a very strict budget. And so fitting that in that way is how I've gotten past that objection.
Anyone want to add to what Sherry said? I do the same thing that Sherry does. I go to their budget and I ask them, like, what's a typical day like? Like, I usually start with a question. What are you normally eating? Where do you think you would fit in a shake? And what would that replace? Like, really exactly. I don't need to repeat because Sherry hit the nail on the head. I like to also say, like, Dana's in the chat saying she does the same thing. I like to, Betty also say, Betty just had to take off. Darn it. I like to also say, like, you are worth it and your health is worth it. And what is there better to invest in than your livelihood and your sense of well-being and your very health. So, but yeah, that's how I go about it. Okay. What about like situational disadvantage? And I under that could be what Jennifer brought up about like struggling with pain. Something my mom brings up a lot of, like, I can't do those programs. Or like, I was thinking in terms of people that are like, I live in a small town. I don't ever leave my house, or like any type of objection that is, again, we could put in, the market here is saturated. I've heard that. Or I've heard the opposite. Nobody here has heard of Shakeology. Everybody here does Isogenics or whatever, Advocare. So any thoughts on someone that comes at you with, like, you know, I'm not in a position to succeed because of this situation? Kelly, hi. Thank you for hopping on. We're talking about overcoming objections in sort of a discussion style. Hi.
Hi. I shower at 4:00, and for the first time of the day, so I always look like garbage, so I don't want to be out here. But I did need to know what the topic was, because I didn't know if it was just Shakeology or coaching or what.
We're going through a list of like how we overcome all these different objections. We only have like 12 minutes left. We have a few more to go over, but we're over right now. Just like some of those things we've covered cost, we've covered time. Anyone want to hop in on someone that says, like, I'm at a disadvantage, basically. Everyone here is a coach. No one here is a coach. Or I live in a town of population 0. Oh, well, go, Kelly.
There are so many people that, so many successful coaches that have, I mean, seriously, they're in these little teeny tiny towns. And I think with social media, especially with what we're kind of learning now, with social media, you have so many opportunities to, seriously, yeah, in Plummer, Idaho is 30 minutes from me. Between here and the next biggest town are these little podunk towns. But the people that you're engaging with the most are probably on social media. I mean, they're probably, my best friends from high school, I have a best friend that lives here, and she does my hair. I shouldn't say that right now, but it's the what we have to offer is not so limited. It's not limited to an area. It's not limited to it's limited to our, the United States of America. What we have to offer is something that every single person needs. It's just our responsibility to kind of get out there. And so that's one of the things I think after last week's call, of how many things we've learned by not getting a degree in it. We don't have a degree in marketing. We don't have a degree in web design. We don't have a degree in social media. It's stuff that we have the ability to learn how to connect and engage with people. And so if you are someone who can wants to connect and engage with people and wants to have this kind of lifestyle and promote it, then it's really unlimited to you. We have there really isn't a reason that you can't find people. You need to learn how to do it, but there's no reason you can't learn how to do it. And I think that this the wake up call on Monday was a perfect example of that. Absolutely perfect. And as I was listening to it, I'm thinking, friggin' 100 people a day. I mean, that was my first thought, was 100 people a day. I can't do that. But I'm not making $1 million. So when I'm making $1 million, I'm going to be connecting with 100 people a day. So I'm going to start smaller. And I have 100% built my business off of Facebook. I mean, that's as far as social media. That's the venue. That's the mine. But I need to learn Instagram because Facebook is changing, and I know I need to learn it. So I've listened to so many things, and it's just been overwhelming for me. And listening to her, I felt like, this is doable. And when she said that link, hashtags has been scaring the crap out of me. So when she said there's a link, you just plug in what you're interested in, and it'll give you hashtags. I'm like, okay, then this is easier than I thought. So it's really just it's just exploring and finding the place. You can do it. You just have to keep looking for the right spot to do it. It's like looking for the right program that inspires you. Not everybody is inspired by insanity and wants to do it. So you find the program that does, and then that might lead, a year from now, you might want to do insanity. And that's exactly how it is for this business. Exactly.
Yep, exactly. No, not cold calling, Dana. No, not cold calling. Following 100 new people a day. Did you listen to the National Wake Up Call, Dana? And then Jake and I both purchased the cleaner, and we're playing with that right now that we talked about to unfollow. Okay, so let's move on. As far as, if I do have a lot of people, just because the area I live in, there are like, you turn your head and there's a coach. And that can be a good thing, actually. It can be a really good thing because Shakeology has so much credibility. Like I walk into the gym and everybody has a Shakeology shaker. And it's actually not just my organization either. I've hired one of Danielle Natoni's coaches that works for me too. And so it's not even just us. And then, anyway, so Amy Silverman was from Oregon. So she has some coaches in the area. So it can be a good thing. Like people have heard of it. Like they're not like what. And there's sort of, it has street cred. It has street cred. People don't think as hard about the price when they know everyone else is doing it. So that I think it can be an advantage. So let's see. Sherry brought up the gym thing, and I think that's really an easy one. I think it's so easy to download workouts and do BOD at the gym. So make sure that if someone is a gym person, that they know they can do their workouts in the club. And let's see. What about pyramid scheme? Did anyone want to jump on that one? I know we have to wrap up very soon.
I've actually gotten that one a couple of times.
What do you say?
And having lived through that whole era of pyramid schemes, well, I tell them that it's so different than a pyramid scheme, because in a pyramid scheme, only the people at the top, and they have to recruit just numbers on the bottom, just people to join in. They don't have to do anything, and only the people at the top make any money. And eventually, it dries up, and the people at the bottom get nothing. So it's not a business. It's not work. It is just money in, money out. It's illegal money laundering. That's not what this is at all. And we're different than other MLMs as well, because we don't, it's not all about recruiting people and having them sell and getting commission on those and getting commission down the line. It isn't all about just sell. Yeah. It isn't always about that. So we get rewarded more for helping people and bringing people into the fold to help other people. Get rewarded in that way. It isn't just all about, I'm going to buy this and please buy this thing from me. So it's not as much as sales.
So. I love that. That was excellent. I love that so much. It's very true. A pyramid scheme is illegal, and it truly benefits just the person on the top. And this is an unusual. What's funny is, because we're binary, if you ever draw it out for someone, it looks like you're drawing a triangle. And if they already think it's a pyramid, they're like, oh, see, it's a pyramid. She just drew the shape. But no, it's very true. We're not successful unless we have recruited people or have clients. We are not successful unless people are successful in our organization. And then I always also like to point out the fact that you have the potential, and it happens all the time in our company, to outrank or even out-volumize your upline or their upline or their upline. You could have a discount coach as an upline, and then you could become an emerald or a diamond. So that couldn't happen in a pyramid scheme. And I've also heard and believe that a traditional corporation is actually more true to the model of a more direct parallel to a model of a pyramid, like my gym, for example, with the owner and then the upper management, and then, all the way down to the janitorial staff, is more like a true pyramid scheme. So
it's our organization is more like traditional sales, where you don't get commission on the salesman's sales, but you get bonuses based on how well your salesmen do, how well you train them. It's just like that that's how a car dealership is. Wow. You get money, you get income on the stuff you sell, but I don't get income if 10 other people that I brought into the company sell. I get bonuses if they do well, and that's only if I train them to do well and I help them. I can get bonuses, so it's no different.
So I think that the less time you spend on something like that, like if somebody does say it's a pyramid scheme, or is it a pyramid scheme, I've never had more than a conversation with anybody other than saying, no, pyramid schemes are illegal. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously, that's all I say is, and I'm not going to do anything illegal. Mm-hmm. So sometimes spending more time on things kind of takes away. So if you have to kind of defend yourself, I don't defend myself. It's not a pyramid scheme because that's illegal.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then Betty brought up sales. So let's just, we probably only have really time for like one more, but what about when people say, like, I'm not a salesperson. I can't do that. I don't do sales. Sherry, what do you say?
I actually say that everybody is a salesperson in their own right. You just don't realize it. Because if you like something, whatever it is, you can like your Target cup that you just bought or something, and you're going to tell everybody about it. You're going to post pictures on social media about it. You're going to call your friends and your family and be like, hey, look, I just got this awesome deal on this thing. That's selling something. You're not directly trying to, but your mannerisms and the way you're dealing with it is actually how selling happens.
Mic drop. Yeah. It's so true.
And by them trying to tell you that they're not salespeople, they're actually selling the fact that they're not salespeople to you right there.
I've never thought of that before. That's funny. That's ironic. That's true irony. And people usually use the word irony wrong. I think I'm using it correctly. That's really ironic. And then I like to also add that we have a culture that doesn't push products, and that we really try to like personally find a solution if we haven't already, and then share that with people that have a like need in their lives. So, yeah, that was really good, you guys. Let's see. I want to just see if there was anything else that I really, really, really wanted to hit on the, so back up to the top. Time. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. It's just a matter of how they decide to prioritize them. The know-how, Jake covered that. We've got all the resources for them. They don't need to know how. We'll take them through it. We didn't cover they're not a shake person. Do you guys get that? Because I definitely get that. I don't know if it's because it's in the health industry thing. I have a lot of people like, I would rather eat food, or I would rather not have a shake. And so I just like to point out that our food quality today is not the food quality that it used to be, and that it's incredibly hard today to get great nutrition. It really, really, really is. And this is a convenient way to do that. And anyway, and I also actually was not a shake person myself. And then I just kind of acquired a taste for it and the lifestyle for it. So it can be, I think we can just change, like, I just think that that's something that is not insurmountable. Like, get over it.
And I have a newer story. I have a newer story, and I'm actually going to I should probably share this on a video, is that I've always been vitamin D deficient, just because my gut's never been healthy, and so I can't absorb anything. I am no longer vitamin D deficient as of my last physical last month. Even my whole entire life I've been vitamin D deficient, and I've been iron deficient. I am no longer anemic, and I am no longer vitamin D deficient. And I attribute that to Shakeology, because I'm eating the same stuff. But, I would eat the exact diet they would tell me to do for vitamin D, and I'm outside all the freaking time. And they could never figure it out. I just wasn't absorbing nutrients because I was so unhealthy in my gut. I haven't changed a whole lot since the last time they told me that. So Shakeology is the bomb.
Jake, she needs Chris Kressler in her life. And we'll send you a link on a video, on a podcast you need to listen to. And then it's so good about gut health. But anyway, I wish we would have had what you just said in our Shakeology clip video. Maybe we can edit it in. On a similar note, there's a nurse at the hospital. She's a cardiac nurse, and she she needs vitamin K. She wants a multivitamin that has vitamin K in it, and it's almost impossible to find. And so she finally found one that was $30 a month.
Wow.
But then Shakeology has vitamin K in it. She couldn't believe it when she saw it on our label. She couldn't believe that it had vitamin K. And so she didn't need any more to get the $30 vitamin monthly supplement. So that right there takes, almost 30% of the cost off of the shake. Okay. So, we talked about shake people. We talked about objection about they like to work out at the gym. A lot of people want to work out at the gym because of the social aspect, so we can educate them that we have a social aspect to what we do as well. We talked about the cost. Sherry hit the nail on the head with that one. We talked about the pyramid scheme, and Betty talked a lot about, she crushed that one. Kelly talked about the saturated market thing and how we have to be growing on Instagram and Facebook. We have to be growing online, not in our geographic location. I mean both, but you know what I mean. So basically, in closing, objections are often people's excuses. Really, all of those things are probably excuses. And then why would people make an excuse? It's most likely fear of failure. And so I think if we can address whomever we're talking to and get to the root of the fear of of it, I think that's how we become successful at handling objections. If we can get to the root of the fear. Yeah. That's all I have. I just thought it would be good discussion, a good recording to have for future. We covered a little bit regarding Shakeology cost in our new coach training, but I hear Betty. Here, I'll mute her. There. I'm reading the chat. I know. Good point. Sherry, say that about, like, she just couldn't wrap her mind around paying for Shakeology, and now she can't imagine going a day without it. And it's not just her husband they order it.
Yeah, we have it for both of us. But even in the beginning when I started it consistently, what was that, maybe like 7 months ago, I couldn't get past the grittiness. I couldn't get past the taste. I couldn't whatever. And it really comes down to just making it correctly and making it what works for you. And now I can literally just throw it in water, shake it up, drink it, and it's totally fine.
You were like pukey. You were like retching.
Oh, I did. I threw up the first month. But that was also baby and hormone and tons of vitamins and prenatals. So it was a little overdose of some things, but it ended up just coming down to I did not have a healthy gut. And after about a month, it was fine.
Yeah, Betty, your Shakeology testimonial with the IBS and the vitamin D is amazing. Like, Carl needs to know. You need to be on an infomercial. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm sorry, I was talking. Yeah, the vitamin D and iron thing shocked me because I have been anemic my entire life. I have been vitamin D deficient for as long as I can remember. I just thought it was something I was just never going to get over. So it's just amazing to me.
Dana said same kind of testimony. I don't know if you guys saw that in the chat.
I see that.
All right, guys, do me a favor. If you didn't watch the live video, watch it. Something went wrong with my phone when I filmed it, and it was like portrait, and it's like up in my face, and it's horrific. So, like, don't look at it. Just like push play and listen. But I do cover some important things that I think you guys all need to get on the same page. And please make sure you vote on the mastermind call. Jake, I made sure I did Thursdays because I think you work at the winery Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you can't do Thursday, then I'm actually open on Fridays as well during those times. So that's all, guys.
I have an off-topic question but it's an Instagram question. I was hoping somebody could answer. When I listened to Jen Richardson's, her live, it was awesome. The wake-up call. Sorry. She talked about knowing who is reacting to her posts and who is stale, who are the hangers on. How does she know that? Does she have a business Instagram account? Because that's how she can see that?
Yeah, you need a business Instagram account for sure. You need to have a business account so you can see analytics. And just hold on a second. I want to say a couple things. First of all, I have to go let my dog out. Second of all, I'm home alone and I'm totally available right now. If anyone wants to stay on and talk Instagram, it's one of my favorite topics. So I can stay on and talk Instagram. I have to let my dog out. If you guys need to go or want to go, because I'm trying to be like really respectful of the 6:30 to 7, you're totally welcome to peace out. I'm going to let my dog out and then we'll be back to talk Instagram.
Okay.
Hang on.
Thanks, Ellen.
I gotta go, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, Jake.
Okay, I'm home alone. I'll have to let them back in a minute. But I know Sherry is pretty up to speed with all things Instagram because we kind of do the same stuff. And Dana is also newer to Instagram. Kelly, Kelly, you turned your video off. You turned her beautiful face off. She showers at 4 o'clock. I work out at 4 o'clock. So I don't think any of us. Oh, I'm still recording. Let me stop the recording. Oh, there she is. Let me
I
stop.
have to eat my